Come join the party, everyone.
I love it.
So Tim is in Tucson, Arizona, where my heart is, because Rudy's there, my son Rudy. He used to work over, where did he work? He worked downtown, but now he works for Earth's Healing. Lucky little kid.
Oh, nice.
So yeah. So been very busy there. So anyway, so tell me about you, Tim. What has been going on?
Well, a lot has been going on since you and I last spoke. So I have been back in Tucson since October. So I am delighted to be here. So I am actually opening up a brand new hotel that's due to open up late spring, early summer. So that's going to be happening here in June. And Tucson to me is just a wonderful place, kind of like we were talking earlier. My heart is here. It's just the 2 years I was gone, to have this opportunity to come back. I knew I would come back eventually. I honestly didn't think that it would happen this soon, but I'm a firm believer, everything happens for a reason. And here we are. So I was recruited to come back to open up a soft branded upscale boutique product. And it's just great to reconnect, be back with friends. The weather here is beautiful, as you know, so you can't beat that. It's great for running. It's great for golf.
You can.
So
wait, I
there's
just messed
something
up.
about
Hold on for 1 second. Oh, wait, hold on, Tim. I'm a mess right here. Okay. All right. So I'm sorry. It was going too loud. And then, can you hear me? Okay. Tim?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
I messed up. Can you hear me? Let me see. What did I do? Okay. Forget that. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay. Yes. Okay. So Tim. All right. So are you able to reveal the brand?
Yeah, so right now we are working with the soft brand. So we're going to be a member of Design Hotels, which is affiliated with Marriott. So we are very excited to be a part of that. I'll be honest, due to the pandemic everyone's going through now with the COVID-19, unfortunately, although we're not open, I feel bad for all of my colleagues and my friends that are in the industry, and I know what they're dealing with. It has affected us in some ways too as well, from a branding standpoint, from a marketing standpoint. We've been fortunate enough to get deliveries, but it's just one of those scenarios that you just take it week by week, day by day. It's just one of those things, you just got to make the best of the situation, and you got to look for the light at the end of the tunnel. We know we're going to get out of that, but now we just want to just do the best that we can do, get up and open. And it's, honestly, we're going to be opening during a challenging time, but what I believe, if we can get the community together, get the team together, it's really going to be kind of what we make of it. So those are really a lot of the things that we're focusing on right now.
So are you the GM?
I am. I'm the general manager of the property. Yeah.
Is this towards downtown? Is it over by the mountains? What area?
It is. So it's located off of I-10 on 22nd by Star Pass. It was a more of a lower end product, to be honest. And a person from New York City that's from Tucson purchased the facility, gave it a complete revamp, and is building a brand new welcome building that's going to function, has the lobby, the food and beverage area, a nice pool area with cabanas. There's going to be some open space behind it too as well. So we anticipate to be doing a lot of programming, a lot of special events. So it's really going to be unique to Tucson. And I think the most exciting part of what's happening with this project is just the story that we're going to be able to tell. So this summer, once we get through all this, we really would like to be Tucson's downtown living room, welcome locals, and just to be able to share our story, hear those stories, and let them know that we're here from them with anything that we can do.
I love that. Do you know Stacy Fowler?
I don't.
Oh my gosh. Well, you need to know Stacy, and Stacy's probably not watching this, but when she does, so Stacy started Tucson Business Networking. She gets about 250 attendees at her events. So it's pretty amazing. And I know that she's been going strong for, I want to say maybe 3 years. It's been pretty great, but I want to definitely have you guys connect, because Stacy's always looking at places that can hold the quantity that she has. She has really great business professionals. So amazing. Oh my gosh. So excited. So you got back in October. What's the difference? What would you say is the difference between the East Coast and Tucson?
Well, I think there's a big difference. So first of all, I'm from the Midwest. I think you and I talked about that when we first met. I'm from Iowa. So growing up in the Midwest, you get to, in the area where I'm from in Iowa, everybody knows everyone. So it's just your upbringing is where, we grew up in a small farming community of 900 people. So our doors were always unlocked. We knew everybody's neighbors, all of my friends. I knew their mom and dads. I mean, they were like my parents too, as well, and vice versa with our parents. But there's something about the Midwest, just with the style and the charm, where people are friendly. On the East Coast, though, people are friendly, but it's a little more faster pace. It can be a little bit more abrupt. I remember being 23 and going to New York City for my first time, and I had never been there for sales because I was working at a hotel in downtown Chicago, and it was just funny, just also seeing the difference just from Chicago to New York City. People were just more direct, more of they just said, what do you want? It was just different. I can't explain it. There's nothing like in the door slammed in your face, right? So that was an experience. But, Tucson really does remind me of that too as well. I mean, people are friendly. You get a chance to know everyone. Everyone's welcoming. I don't know if it's because a lot of transplants like myself are either from Iowa, Minnesota, Arizona does attract a lot of folks from the Midwest too as well. So I'd like to think that we bring that Midwestern charm to the Arizona area.
It's funny. I don't know. So I like when I went to Tucson, I would say, come for the mountains, stay for the people.
Yeah,
because I love the mountains. People were just amazing. And then, I lived in Miami area for a little bit. I never really felt like I fit in. I would say that Daytona Beach, the people, the business community is a lot like Tucson. Now, Tucson is a huge, almost a million people?
Almost, yeah. It is a big city.
But the business community, you tend to kind of know everyone, which I love. And same thing kind of here in Daytona, and the same in Orlando too. But I'm finding the people here in Daytona have that same kind of, kind of wrapping their arms around you, and they are really into nonprofits here. And I know that Tucson, if I remember correctly, had like over 1,200 nonprofits, a lot in just that Tucson area. And the same here. We have a lot of nonprofits, and people just, they envelope it and they care about it. So that's nice.
Well, and that's what's great about Tucson, because it's a big city, but you almost feel like you're in a small city environment. And really, the community does a lot of great things, as just with nonprofits, with events, especially with downtown. There's just a lot of culture. There's a lot of arts, food. It's a diverse city. And it's so fascinating to see all the synergies and just the different things that is created here. And that's what I think really makes Tucson really special for me.
Yeah, the University of Arizona. That's what I love. I love when you're sipping coffee and you're downtown and you're seeing the students. And I'm sorry, because now the students have left, right? They're not there anymore. We have Embry-Riddle. We have a nice Daytona State College. And actually, we have Bethune-Cookman, which is a beautiful college too. So I love that. But the way that they built the school around, the way they built the city around Tucson, to me, that is what I really, really love. Oh, do you want to come in and say hi, Alan? My husband set up the lights and stuff so you could see the shadow.
Yeah.
Good, Alan. No, it looks good. Okay. He's one of those people it's got to be perfect. Okay, it's really perfect. That's Tim. Tim, say hi to Alan.
How are you doing,
so
Alan?
Nice.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Tim was going to.
Nice meeting you too.
I love Tim, and we were working together with the American Cancer Society for the Western, for the actual live dinner show. And unfortunately, Tim ended up having to go away. And then I moved to China.
I know. I remember that. You did go to China.
I did go to China, and I really loved it.
Very nice meeting you.
Thanks. I love China. I really, really did. Oh my gosh, I'd go back in a flash. Yeah. And not just because my son is Sam.
What was your favorite thing about living in China? What did you like the most?
I love the people, because it didn't really matter if you could communicate with them, if they understood you, because that was all you needed.
Sure.
So I would just walk around with a big smile. They would smile back. They didn't even know I hit them. They're like, whoa, let's smile. And I'm like small and chunky and dark hair. And they're like, okay. Because usually they like, tall and, different colors of hair. But they were so nice. And I just love the fact that when you drink a beer, you kind of slam it down. That was fun. And also, you eat, and then you pay your bill, then you say thank you, and you really aren't expected to tip, which is crazy. And $8 gets you you could eat like a king. So I loved it all. I love the parks. My daughter Alana was amazing to be with. She's so easy. She's like the best. So it was I just loved it. I got a fake Gucci bag.
Did you go to the Great Wall?
I didn't. I went to the Great Wall back in 2014. So I did. I'd already done that. And but I was teaching English in like Trend Micro and Erickson, but I did not have my work visa. So I got nervous. And everyone was telling me that I should be nervous because I would be the one to get in trouble, not the man that was hiring me to do the work. So, and then here was all the talk about deportation and what was taking place the summer of 2018. Sure. Together, it was a combination that, and I honestly pictured like I would starve to death because if I wasn't eating every 2 or 3 hours, so they're not like they're going to be bringing Adrienne some food in jail. Seriously, I don't even know what to do. I'm going to have to shave my hair bald. I probably have another like 7 days, and then it's going to start to hang and do really weird things. And I'll be cutting it, and then I'll have tiny bangs like this, which will be weird.
Yeah, see, I don't have that. I cut my own hair. Molly, come here. Get up here. She's laying right here. She's so sweet.
Molly. Oh, how long have you had Molly?
Say hi, Molly. Say hi, Molly. So Molly is going to be 9 in August. Yeah. So we actually lost her brother in January of this year. Unfortunately, he had cancer, but Molly has been doing really well the past few months. She's definitely become daddy's little girl. She's very spoiled. She goes shopping with me. She goes driving with me. She loves to be in the car. My friend Charlene made me a really cute carry pouch, so she fits right into the bag, which is great. So she's a good girl, and she's loving spring right now, Adrienne, because she loves the geckos. So geckos are out in full manner here. So she just does a lot of chasing, and she likes to go after them. So that's primarily what she does. But she's a good girl. Say hi, Molly.
Groomed? Like, how is she so perfect? Why does she look groomed?
Well, I do get her groomed once a month. So we have a friend of mine, her name's Julie. She has a spa in a van. So she comes to your house and she's got the full setup. Oh, Molly, look at the puppy. Look at that.
Molly, this is Pickles. He's the opposite of you.
Molly, look at Pickles.
I cut his hair. I tried. Poor thing.
I love it.
Oh, Molly comes from Tucson, Arizona. I mean, Pickles comes from Tucson, Arizona.
Oh,
Pickles,
Tucson? Awesome.
Yeah, Molly's so cute. Tucson, a beautiful girl named Angela, amazing girl, flew Pickles here November of last year for Alana and I, and she's an amazing young girl. She has, and Angela, if you're listening, you're incredible. She is really, I don't know if she really realizes what kind of a role model that she is, but she has Tourette's. She has, I think she said she has Asperger's and like a little attention deficiency. And people were really nice with her. She had put Pickles underneath the seat. And she said that during that time on the plane, because she was concentrating so much on Pickles, she didn't have any outbursts. But she came and she was such a pleasure to be with. What a smart young lady. And she's looking for anybody who has teenagers or anybody younger for a book club. Angela's looking for a book club. I think she is kind of on the outsides of Tucson, but what a lovely girl. She must be 24, smart, brilliant. Her parents have raised her lovely. And she was brave enough to I kept saying to her, if something happens to Pickles, I didn't want her to feel guilty because that was a big thing. Because Pickles, he's like 10 years old at the time, and he's, has a collapsed trachea. We got Pickles from, where we got Pickles from was the Humane Society, the one at La Encantada.
Very nice. Right, yeah, right there. I know what that one's at.
That is such a beautiful.
How did Pickles do on the flight?
So he was okay. She gave him, I think, a little bit of something to sleep, and then when she got out, it was pouring raining in Orlando. So I pick her up from the airport. And of course, she doesn't have time to take Pickles to the bathroom. So Pickle pees on her and then poops on her in the car. I felt so bad. And she went just like the nicest spirit. She wasn't mad. She was understanding. Alana and I fell in love with her. It was just, she's so lovely. And after the passing of her brother? How did Molly act after the passing?
You know what? For the first couple weeks, it was a little hard on her. She was like chasing, and I could tell looking for him. But you know what? I really tried to keep her in a routine because that was really important to me. So when I would go to work, I would kennel her, feed her the same time, walk her the same time, just try to keep her mind off for things. I think it was just as hard as me as it was for her too as well, because pets become your family. But I just talked to her a lot. Just told her that her brother loved her and he was there. And so I find myself talking to her sometimes still, but it's all good. But she's done really, really, really well. So she's done really, really well.
I love that. I'm going to let people, if they want to, I don't know how this works. Too bad if I'm really learning all this. Oh, I think wait, let me just see if I could. Yeah, join me live on this link. I don't know what that means, but we'll see. Oh, so I don't know if Laura Lee Shapiro, who she books different events. So a lot of event planners. I love the hospitality industry because obviously promotion we could sell. And I was on the board for MPI in South Florida for a few years. Love that. Where?
And I think the biggest thing right now with the event planners is I know that there's a lot of challenges and we're going through this time. It will come back, but don't cancel, postpone. Let's see if we can work it out, reschedule, and just hope for the best. And, it's going to be interesting, Adrienne, I think for all of us, I even find it now the past few weeks, like defining the new normal. I mean, in my lifetime, I've never experienced anything like this. So I think this is really in the travel industry going to push us all to I guess think more outside the box. I think we're going to have to be creative. Hopefully things get back to the way they are, but I think, what? I guess we got to always just plan for what we can control and just hope for the best. And I think that that's probably the best thing for all of us to do at this point is just kind of redefine ourselves and, do what we can to get creative, and I think if I was on property right now, luckily for me, I'm not. I kind of wish I was and had a team. But you know what? I think what I would suggest is just make sure you're transparent with your team. So just be honest, be transparent. I also look at this time and I think about this right now as we're going to be going through the opening and we're going to be going through a hiring process. You know what? As leaders, I think you really have a great opportunity now to show your strengths because I think in epidemics like this or in downtimes, it really shows people's leadership abilities. So with that being said, one of the things that I think about is I kind of think of it kind of like bank accounts. This should be the time that we should be making deposits into everyone, not just our associates, but our family members. Be there for them. Make sure you're sending them nice texts. Lately with my family, we've been doing virtual happy hours on Sunday. I have several friends back in Alabama that I still talk to, a couple times a week. I tell them good job. I think it's really getting that investment just in them, be human. And I think the more that we can do that, I think about all of the withdrawals that we're going to get from those individuals, whether they're associates, their colleagues, their family members. So I think, making those deposits and helping them with those withdrawals to me is probably going to be the biggest thing that I'm going to focus on. And I think the last thing that I would say to that is, again, get really creative. Don't define the new normal, but, try to make it. And I think that we have a big opportunity to thank all of those medical workers, all of those folks at the fires department. So, try to do things to maybe help them work on staycations for their families. Let them come in and enjoy things on us and, get involved. But, that's really how I look at it right now. And these are just some of the things that I think about as we go into the next phase and, just try to make the best of it. And just, I think getting involved in the community too as well, show your investment, do what you can and just be there for them any way you can.
Okay, so first of all, I'm going to take your picture and I'm going to do a little like your quote right there because that's really beautiful. Wow, I love that. You just came up with a really beautiful quote. And I think that I'm hoping that the hospitality industry, I know will watch this because I have a lot of friends in the hospitality industry. Yeah. They're all amazing. I wish that I could get them all in a room so you can meet each one of them because they all have it's a really warm group, but very creative too. So I love your idea about the staycation for our doctors and nurses and our healthcare and our first responders. You know what's weird? Every morning, I kind of like, so you go to bed and I usually don't watch the news, but now, of course, I'm like, I watch the news and then I wake up and that first like 30 seconds of the morning before I remember, it's kind of like, it does kind of you remember and you're like, oh, and then we go on our day and because we're home, I have to watch what's going on, but it's so, it is really scary. It really is. I know that I'm feeling that scared. But on the other hand, I want to do things like this because I know that people are home and I want to, not to brag, like you too, like we really all like nice people have nice friends. It's just how it is in life. Right. So I want everyone to meet my friends. And I think if you're comfortable with, I can help you to do this, that you could do it with your friends too, so that they can also share their positive. It's a really cool program called that Be Live, Be Live. My friends say I call it Be Live, but it's very easy to put together and it looks good. And there's a lot of like little things that you could do. So I'm kind of liking it here. But I love seeing you, Tim. And I'm sorry it didn't work out that we could do the event together, but there's so many great charities too in Tucson. So they're all going to be approaching.
I agree. And you never know what the future is going to hold, right?
We really don't, do we? You just have to stay safe. Are you staying in? Are you okay staying in?
Yeah, actually I am. So I am. It's okay. Again, it's just it's a little bit of an adjustment being when you're used to being out in the go doing things. But I just want to make sure that I'm doing my part. But yeah, for the most part, it's just staying in. And in some ways, I'm enjoying it. In other ways, I'd rather be more active like everyone else. But you know what? We're going to get through this and just stay positive and just make the most of it.
There's a part of me that's scared that I'll enjoy staying in too much, and like then it becomes more like becomes a habit in a couple of weeks. Because even now, because I suffer from the kidney stone, so sometimes I could be 2 weeks just being at home, not like passing a kidney stone, and so I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to make sure that I can get out and feel comfortable getting out, because I don't know, because it does get hard to.
It does. Well, and it's interesting because then, I don't know if you find this on the weekends, but then it's like, okay, so you think about, what am I going to do today? So it's almost like, again, you're doing things that you would normally do, so you stay busy, and it's interesting. So you're either sorting out closets, you're deep cleaning, maybe you pick something to do that day that you typically wouldn't do. Maybe it's picking up cooking or more reading. I don't know what it is, but it's just interesting because you're thinking of things now that you probably wouldn't think about, right? So it's different.
So the days seem to go by fast too. I don't really like cooking. In all honesty, I can make like a chicken mashed potatoes and like I can make a meal, but like I'm not fancy and I'm already tired of my own cooking. And I don't know. I just, so the kitchen's not like my favorite spot to be in. We do have a really lovely neighborhood. So, we'll take walks and that's nice. And everyone, I'm actually kind of the person that walks around people. I think it's always in my head. I just wake up and make sure. I think I could be the one. The thought that you could be the one to make anyone sick makes me want to stay home, first of all. We did go to the store and stocked up again for another, so we're okay for 2 weeks. But I'm more nervous about everyone else than I am about myself. Like, I just feel that way. So, but I am nervous now about Boris Johnson. I get to Chris Cuomo. Oh my God, I love Chris Cuomo. I love Governor Cuomo too. It's like, I find I'm addicted to watching that. And then I'm like, I feel like I'm invested in like their health too.
No, I agree. Yeah.
So hard. Well, you look amazing. I love the deposit, and thank you for really kind of lifting me up too. So I'm sure whoever's going to watch it is going to feel the same way. All right. So are you able to tell us what the name of the hotel is or not yet? I'm kind of confused.
Yes, I can tell you. It's called the Tucson.
Oh, and how do you spell it?
Tuxon.
I love it.
Yeah, it's a very unique name. So do you know why it's called the Tucson?
Because you're going to wear tuxedos?
No. So the owners that developed the property did a great job of telling the story. Tucson, a lot of people call it Tucson. Tuxon, so it's a take on Tucson. I thought it was brilliant.
Are you so on that Star Pass? Do you have the mountains in your back? Are you kind of the lower part of it, or are you?
Yeah, so we're on the lower part. We have great views of A Mountain. So you see
Oh.
Sentinel Peak right there. It is just great. It's great. You see everything right there. It's just great views. It's excellent views. It's right there in the Barrio Kruger Lake neighborhood. It's in a great location. So it's great.
Oh, I'm going to be interviewing Alexis Cassidy. Now, I don't know if you met Alexis. Alexis
I didn't
is,
either.
oh, she's got the, and I love her. Alexis is with the American Cancer Society. So she was doing the, well, Traceland started it, and Alexis is taking the mountain, climb for Tucson, but it's canceled now because you climb the A mountain. So I don't know. But maybe for next year that she could get in touch with you. I know she is also like every other nonprofit looking for places, and but she's lovely. She's really got a ball of energy, and she's such a lovely young lady. I love her. That's the thing with Tucson. I love everyone there. I can't wait for you to meet Stacy Fowler. You are going to love Stacy. She and you definitely have to connect because she really does a great job with Tucson Business Networking. So maybe you could get on to some of her like Zoom calls that they're doing. Everyone's doing the Zoom calls.
I know, right? We're doing that a lot here at work too. It's great to see everyone that way. Yeah.
You know what's cool? Find out if someone has talent. So tomorrow, my girlfriend Shelly Benarski, I'm going to interview her, and she plays saxophone. And then last week, someone played the guitar. So you never know. Sometimes someone may be a guitar player, be willing to play a song or two, because that's really fun too. It's like a person.
These hidden talents, right? What everybody has.
Yes, exactly. Well, have a great rest of the day. We're staying in touch at Facebook anyways, but I'm really excited. And I will be there soon because I want to see my my Rudy, my 25-year-old.
Well, you make sure you look me up. Would love to see you. And this was great to spend time with you this afternoon. Thank you so much.
I just loved every minute. Mwah.
Back at you. I'll talk to you soon.
Awesome shirt.
Thank you.
2 thumbs up on that shirt. All right, bye. Thank you. Mwah. And we're off. Hey, the coloring looks good on me, though. Thank you, everyone.